The long road he's traveled began just after the Second World War, amidst the chaos of London's bustling West End. Born Stephen Dimitri Giorgio in 1948, he was the youngest of 3 children. His older brother David says Stephen stood out from the very start.
My brother was an extremely beautiful child, and so much so that we used to go out, when my mother would go out for walks and stuff like that with the stroller, people would stop us just to have a look at this beautiful baby.
As years went by, the boy grew high and the village looked on in awe.
His mother Ingrid was Swedish with a mild disposition. His father Stavros was a spirited Greek Cypriot whose presence could be felt blocks away.
He had a very loud voice and he was always shouting for Stevie or David, and it really was deafening. And that's the kind of environment he grew up in.
The neighborhood remains much as it was when the Giorgio family lived in cramped quarters above the restaurant they ran in the West End. The Moulin Rouge put food on the Giorgio's table, and Stephen was pressed into service at a tender age.
I was trained very early on, to be able to work in the restaurant, to serve, to be a waiter. That's how I learnt to first serve, the public.
Remember the days of the old schoolyard? We used to laugh a lot. Oh, don't you remember the days of the old schoolyard?
Stephen attended St. Joseph's Catholic School, where the nuns' stern warning about the wages of sin left a lasting impression.
It was the awakening of my conscience. But of course, the messages I was receiving were both different. One was in the church, was warning me, about the fleshly pleasures of life, and the other one was actually attracting me towards it.
Oh, I can't keep it in. I can't keep it in. I've got to let it out.
Stephen was no choir boy. He and his best friend Andrew Karitsis often played hooky, running the streets of the city's seedier side, slipping into movie houses, scaling rooftops, and playing pinball.
That was our playground, which was the West End, really. Quite dangerous if you think about it at that kind of age. But we experimented with most things, but we had a good time. Good laugh, good friends.
Now every second on the nose, on the city road.
The West End was tough, but its vibrant musical theater scene held a special fascination for Stephen.
I'd be hanging around the stage door, listening to the music and meeting the cast. West Side Story, gave me a kind of a new vision of life.
Stephen had always hoped to become a painter, but now he confided in his elder brother that he wanted to chase a different dream.
One day he came to me and he said, David, I'm going to be a singer. I said, a singer? You're going to be an artist. He said, no, I'm going to be a singer. I said, all right then, why don't you sing something for me? So he started to sing this song. I said, you'll never be a singer.
Yes, I'm going to be a pop star now. Yes, I'm going to be a pop star.
It was suddenly an explosion, and there were the Beatles, who had opened up a whole new window of opportunity for kids like me, and all you needed was a guitar.
Oh, mama, mama, see me, mama, see me on the TV.
The teenager persuaded his father to buy him his first guitar, and he retreated to his room above the restaurant. There, he immersed himself in music.
I suppose it was my retreat. I had all my records there, which were just by the side of my bed, so I could, go to sleep while the record was playing. And it was, in a way, my own little world.
In 1964, Stephen, Andrew Karitsis, and another pal formed a band of sorts. But only minutes into their first gig, it was obvious who the real star was.
Oh, mama, mama, see me, mama, see me on my first gig.
Slowly, we kind of disappeared behind Stephen. And we slowly shrank behind him, and he just out there, he was giving it his all, and he was very good.
In the end, I realized I better go it alone.
So the ambitious young artist went to work, writing songs at a furious pace.
Baby, we're back to the good old times, and that's for sure.
A year passed, and I said, well, okay, sing me some songs then. And he started to sing some songs. And I turned around to him and said, I think you're going to be a star.
Stephen now had his once skeptical big brother in his corner. David became an irrepressible force, determined to get Stephen discovered.
I went to a restaurant right on the corner of Tin Pan Alley. I went into the restaurant. I stood up on a chair. I said, "Everybody, quiet!" Because I knew it was full of people from the business. I need somebody in here to give me a name and address. I have a genius brother. He's a great singer. Somebody in here, please help me.
The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest.
David's stunt worked. Through contacts he made that night, Stephen landed a small publishing deal. But his recording career didn't really get rolling until Stephen knocked on the door of producer-manager Mike Hurst.
Doorbell went, and there's this kid standing there with a guitar case. And he said, I wonder if you'd like to hear some of my songs. And I looked at him and I said, "What, now?" He said, "Yeah." First song he played was called I Love My Dog.
I love my dog as much as I love you.
I looked at this guy when he'd finished and I said, "You're bloody great." I said, "That's a hit."
All he asks from me is the food to give him strength. All he ever needs is love, and that he knows he'll get.
I said, "By the way, what do you call yourself?" And he looked very sheepish, very worried. And he said, he said, "My name's Steve." He said, "But," he said, "they call me Cat Stevens." And I said, "That's great." "Oh, no," he said. I said, "Yeah, it is." I said, "Why did he call you Cat?" "Oh," he said, "a girl thinks I got eyes like a cat. I'm going to get rid of it." I said, "No." I said, "Don't get rid of it." I said, "This is a great name."
Here comes my baby. Here she comes now.
Hurst quickly signed the newly christened Cat Stevens. And within weeks, they had a deal with Durham Records, a new offshoot of the Decca label.
From there, you know, Mike became my number one man, you know, the man who's going to take me into the business.
When his next album, Catch Bullet 4, hit the racks in September 1972, it became an instant bestseller, quickly making its way to #1. Audiences couldn't get enough of Cat. In October 1966, his first single, I Love My Dog, clawed its way onto the British charts, peaking at number 28.
We had transistor radios in those days, little things, crackly things, and then suddenly somebody said, "It's on!" You know, we went darting outside. I remember the spot exactly. It was just outside the shop, and I can't remember who's mum or whoever was with me, and we were listening to this, you know, I Love My Dog. And that was the beginning.
Matthew and Son, the work's never done, there's always something new.
2 months later, his next single, Matthew and Son, exploded.
The head of promotion, Decca Records, comes charging down the stairs, says, "Mike," he said, "you want to know what our sales were up to lunchtime today?" I said, "What?" He said, 90,000 by lunch.
Matthew and Son shot to #2 in the UK. Mike Hurst had taken a scruffy kid from London's West End and transformed him into England's hottest teen sensation.
He got out of the car with all these girls screaming, and there must have been, I don't know, 30 girls going berserk, and his head disappeared in the melee. And I tell you what, I saw sleeves going here and these shoes, and they virtually almost stripped him. It was unbelievable.
I feel cold and I want to get you by my side.
The attention was overwhelming, but Cat